Hey everyone, I'm Karlee Vincent.
And I'm Julienne Jobs.
And welcome back to Messy Mommies.
Woo!
Woo! During our last episode, we talked a lot about what we would have in our go bag. I know that for me, I had some wipes handy, things to snap your toys onto your stroller so kids don't toss them to the side as you're going. I talked about my bag, and there were a couple of great things in your bag that we talked about too. One in particular today that we're going to dive deeper on.
This little device right here that pops into the wristwatch. So I use both of those items. Well, I have two of them. That's why I said both. But I use both of those for my daughters to keep track of them when I'm in a really chaotic situation where there's lots of people, like going to the pumpkin patch, going to the fair, really busy park or a mall. It just really comes in handy when I'm trying to make sure that I know exactly where they are, because they're both toddlers, ages 3 and 2, and they're always busy, on the go, and not always listening to me when I say, hey, stay put. So it's proven to be a real helpful thing to me, but I know that's not always the case for everyone. I know there have been some studies in terms of domestic violence and how perpetrators in those situations have gone and taken, these items that you would use to find your luggage, or in my case, find my child, to stalk. The study from Curtin University in Australia, they found that between 2015 and I think 2021, about a 250% increase in which people who are perpetrating the domestic violence are taking these tracking devices and others like it and just dropping it in the child's backpack and then sending them home with whomever they're trying to abuse or control.
That's bananas. That's just insane.
It's crazy. So that being said, it's like there's a dark side and a light side to technology. And
the interesting thing about the Airtag for me as a mom on the go, and I know for you having them, it's great for traveling during the holiday season when you have bags you want to keep track of. To your point, having the Airtags on your kids when you're going through a busy airport or a fair or some sort of event where you just want safety and peace of mind. But I think it's, to your point, very valuable for understanding the downside of technology and just being aware. So, as a parent, I think it's important to just make sure you're checking your stuff all the time.
Which is really hard to do. I completely understand when you just have to get somewhere quickly and you're responsible for 2, 3, however many children you have. And it's all on you to make sure that things are okay.
And then the other thing too, I know in the last episode, we talked a little bit about how there was a question as to whether or not airports were actually going to ban those. And you found some interesting information about that.
So they were really concerned about the amount of lithium, which lithium is used in batteries. So the AirTag itself will last for up to a year before it either has to be replaced, or you can, I think, get a battery for it separately. I've heard that, but I think most folks would just opt to get a brand new one at that point. But essentially the lithium is what they were concerned about. And so if it's less than 0.3 grams of lithium in one of these devices, then it's okay, according to the FAA.
As a mom who is traveling with breast milk or, small children, most definitely, I think back to when I was pumping and traveling, and I was in New York for a show, and I was able to get a milk Stork shipment. And if, for those of you who don't know what milk Stork is, it basically is an activated cooler that, all you need to do is put your sealed up breast milk in there, and then it'll get your milk safely back home without having to compromise the quality of the milk. Well, during this one trip, I did not get my tracking information when I went to the FedEx place. And the next day, my husband's like, well, we haven't seen the milk. 2 days go by, we still haven't seen the milk. Is there any way you can track it? I had no way to track this shipment, and I was sweating by day 3, and it did finally make it home just in time. But I kid you not, I was just like, oh my gosh, of course, as a new mom, you're worried, like, is my kid gonna eat? But like, if you brought an AirTag with you, for instance, I could totally see that as a peace of mind, me just being able to check in where that shipment is across the United States to, as peace of mind goes for traveling.
Well, and I don't have to tell you, but breast milk is so precious. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
like your child's source of nutrition, A, but B, it being far away in a completely separate container from you, and you're getting all these updates that are not giving you any peace of mind. You're not sure when you're going to see your shipment.
Really.
You're like, how am I going to feed my child? Like you said, I mean, I suppose you could opt for formula to supplement in the meantime, but I mean, that's, it's not easy to pump. It's not easy to do any of those things.
But I think getting back to the holidays, though, I can see how AirTags can be such a valuable tool for your family. Do you have a recommendation for how many to start out with on AirTags?
So I opted for the 4-pack because when I bought it at the time, it was $92. And I thought, okay, this is a deal. I'm a woman of deals, and I saw a deal to be had. For me, I decided, I'm just going to go with the 4-pack. And with Amazon, it's like, you can return anything. I've returned eyelashes on Amazon. So I didn't see it as like, okay, this is, a really big spend. I'm not gonna be able to get my money back. But
Right.
It turned out to be a really good investment because I went that avenue of doing it through Amazon, where returns are really easy to make. But if you just want to do the one and see how it goes, why not?
Yeah, why not? Give it a go. I don't have AirTags yet, so I'm genuinely not yet, but I'm genuinely interested. I never, there are parents that have those cute little traveling backpacks with not necessarily a leash. I remember before I became a mom, I was like, I would never put my kid into something like that. And the second I had my daughters, I was like, why didn't I invest in something?
I'm definitely a big believer of the leashes, at least for my younger one, because she just is not one ear out the other, and I'm like,
oh, kid, yeah, it's a total safety. I mean, on from all sides. So
so I feel like the AirTag is kind of like a virtual leash in a way, but
exactly.
Yeah, you don't want yourself to be roped in. You just want it to be for the person who doesn't know how to be responsible for themselves yet. So definitely something to decide whether or not that's something for you. I guess that's the same like application that you use with social media. If you're gonna let your kids use social media, if you're gonna invite that in your home, really thoroughly make sure that you understand what it is you're getting into before biting the bullet.
That'll wrap up our conversation. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
Where is it up? Okay, it's up.
I don't know. Still don't know.
To the side. Halfway.
Our little dance.